Northeast Arkansas News is brought to you by Glenn Sain. Glenn Sain, best price, best service.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for your Northeast Arkansas Late News. I'm Josh Egbert.
I'm Sarah Blakely. Officers across Northeast Arkansas are undergoing a more in-depth training experience to help keep their cool in crisis situations.
Northeast Arkansas Simone Jameson shares details on the Lights, Sights, and Laser Tour that's targeting new recruits.
It's a training that blends firearms with flashlights. Officers across Northeast Arkansas trained for the 3rd Lights, Sights, and Laser Tour at the shooting range near the Craighead County Sheriff's Department Monday afternoon. Deputy Randy Sharp joined other officers in putting forth his best strategies for firing rounds in low and unnatural lighting.
It's a matter of being able to identify your threats, working manipulating a weapons light or a flashlight and your handgun simultaneously. So it's a skill that if you've not practiced, you're not going to rise to that occasion.
The training allows officers to focus on dynamic movement, enhancing their reaction time, and shooting their firearms from unconventional distances. Kyber founder Wes Doss says that the Lights, Sights, and Laser training bridges gaps for what police officers experience in police academy and in the real world. He offers the training free of charge for all specialized officers.
We start out at square one, and then as we progress through our career field and get up in those senior executive ranks, many times we forget the way that it really is out in the real world, and our models, things change. There's a time and a place to do everything in this career field, but it's making the right decision when it's the right time and place to do that.
During the workshop, officers examined case studies of past police and civilian relations gone wrong and how they can improve future tactical training. It is a part of a continued effort to keep first responders quick on their feet in combat, even in the most chilling of criminal encounters. For Northeast Arkansas News, I'm Simone Jameson.
The Kyber workshop is available upon request for officers and law enforcement agencies. For more information about the training and how to register, that can be found online at lslustour.com.
Our chief meteorologist, Chris Summers, joining us now. Chris, get ready for some wind out there.
Yeah, we have a wind advisory going into effect overnight tonight, and as we head through the day on our Tuesday, this wind advisory actually in effect from 7 a.m. Tuesday to 7 p.m., where you could see wind gusts across Northeast Arkansas as high as 35 to 40 miles per hour underneath this wind advisory. Now, we're also going to watch a line of showers and thunderstorms move into our region late tomorrow afternoon as well, and some of those storms could produce some gusty winds as well. So a slight risk of severe weather is in the area for Northeast Arkansas and West Tennessee as we head into the day. Mainly Tuesday afternoon into the evening. Our biggest concern, again, damaging winds, as we could see wind gusts with inside this thunderstorms. Could be as high as 80 miles per hour. Could see some small hail, too. Not looking like the best chance of any type of flooding and or isolated tornadoes with our severe weather here in Northeast Arkansas, but definitely keep your eyes on the weather, especially late tomorrow afternoon and into the evening hours of our Tuesday. Now, our school day forecast does show a little sunshine to start, 64. Temperatures actually rising overnight tonight. We'll see temperatures eventually in the 70s by the afternoon, 73 the high temperature. And again, by 3 o'clock in the afternoon, that's when we'll start to see some of those showers and thunderstorms moving through the area. But once the system moves by, then a little bit cooler weather returns as we head to the middle part of the work week. We'll talk more about that with your local forecast coming up in just a few more minutes.
Thank you very much, Chris. Arkansas State University has been preparing for this week for months. The 2nd annual Sexual Assault Week is happening on campus.
Northeast Arkansas's Alexis Padilla tells us about a special project that is being highlighted this week.
For Holly Johnson, creating this denim quilt was more than an art project. This quilt is giving an outlet for everyone who has been affected by sexual assault.
I've personally suffered under it as well, so being able to contribute to this project just means the world to me, and seeing all the people who've come together to help work on it, knowing it's so well supported by the staff and it gets to, share everybody's stories. I just love it.
Survivors can share their stories on pieces of paper to put into one of the pockets on the quilt. Notes are open to everyone.
If you don't have a story to share, or if you don't feel comfortable sharing your story, you can also just leave a note of support.
The unveiling of the denim kickstarted Arkansas State University's Sexual Assault Awareness Week. This week we'll have special speakers, a health fair, and information booths in the student union. While sexual assault is in the spotlight this week, the issue is present year-round.
This is some conversation that we will have for the remainder of, honestly, our lives, because it's outside of these walls. It's an issue within our whole world. And so, yes, this week will highlight and do a lot more interaction with our students in campus community, but this topic is a forever long topic.
The week is hoping to make sexual assault a topic that can be talked about openly. Johnson is hoping it will encourage victims
to continue to fight against the fear that comes with sexual assault. Like, you have a support network ready for you whenever you have the courage to speak out against it.
The quote will be hanging until Denim Day on April 25th. For Northeast Arkansas News, I'm Alexis Padilla.
The state issues a quarantine for all firewood following a rapid increase in a beetle that's killing trees. The emerald ash borer has been problematic for more than a decade, but it's now spreading through Arkansas at dangerous levels. Officials say the beetle has now been spotted in Randolph County. The quarantine prohibits anyone from traveling with firewood across state lines to help combat the infestation. The ash borer is an emerald green metallic beetle known to bore holes in ash trees, killing the tree in a span of 2 to 5 years.
It bores around and interrupts the water flow to the upper parts of the tree and will cause the tree to die. They can fly about a mile, the borers can. Their main mode, I guess, of spread is through firewood.
The emerald ash borer has been found in 18 Arkansas counties. State agricultural departments are releasing biological control agents to contain the pest.
Well, if you still haven't gotten around to filing your tax return, you're not alone. The IRS says it has received only about 85.7 million returns. That's less than 60% of the 150 million individual returns it's expecting this tax season, which runs for only a few more weeks. One reason to get your return filed as soon as possible is, of course, to get a refund as soon as possible. About 78% of individuals who have filed so far this year have gotten their money back. The other good news is that this year you have 2 extra days to file because the deadline is April 17th, not the usual April 15th.
Today is World Autism Awareness Day. Currently, 1 in 68 children have an autism spectrum disorder in the U.S.
But there's no drug yet to treat the core symptoms. Kenneth Craig has more on the first of its kind study.
15-year-old Marshall Scarpula is one of 3 children in his family with autism. His mother noticed some of the signs when he was 3 years old.
His speech was delayed, and then the school brought it to my attention, too.
Now, researchers at Montefiore Medical Center are studying whether a first-of-its-kind drug could make a difference for kids like Marshall.
There aren't any approved treatments for what we think of as the core symptoms of autism. So all of the social difficulties and the repetitive behaviors and the ability to function in everyday life.
I'm like forgetting something, I would write myself a note.
Marshall is part of a nationwide clinical trial which includes 300 children and teens with high-functioning autism.
Stop.
Researchers are testing whether the drug, balovaptan, can help autism symptoms by preventing a molecule thought to influence social behavior from binding to brain receptors. Previous research on adults showed symptoms improved. Dr. Eric Hollander says this drug could be one piece of the puzzle.
There would still be a need for things like speech therapy or occupational therapy, educational interventions, behavioral interventions.
Marshall's family doesn't know yet whether he received a placebo or the actual drug.
I have this thing that helps me keep on task.
But his mother says she's seen a change in his behavior.
It must be promising for you.
Yes. Hopefully it gets approved and everything goes through and we'll have a medicine for him.
A possible breakthrough for autism and a chance for a fuller life.
Researchers are enrolling high-functioning children and teens at this time because they can better communicate about their symptoms.
People were lining up for a crazy deal after a crazy upset. The Little Caesars in Jonesboro had a line out the door and into the parking lot because they were giving away free lunch combos after the 16 seed UMBC beat number 1 seed Virginia during March Madness. The workers were busy from 11:30 to 1 this afternoon, and it was a deal that some people say seemed too good to be true.
When me and my friend decided to come, we were like, I wonder if this is even real. Like, we couldn't decide if it was real. So then we pulled up and we saw the line. We were like, it's real. So then, but it's really nice being in college and not having much money and having a free food option.
The Little Caesars had such a big crowd that they actually ran out of their mini lunch combo boxes and started giving away their original $5 pizzas instead.
Don't have to be poor college kids to go and get free pizza. Everyone.
I'm sure there were a lot of ASU students who were lined up for that.
Free pizza, everybody go. And it was, if you stood outside today, it was a
chilly
little bit
day.
chilly out
You noticed people out there in long sleeves and even coats on because temperatures were cool. We even talked about temperatures only being in the 40s here at 6 o'clock this evening, but now we're actually up in the 50s as temperatures continue to rise. So our high so far today has been 54 degrees. The warming temperatures as we head to your Tuesday could come with some wind and also some showers and thunderstorms. We'll talk about that when we come back.